And we're live. Welcome, internet friends. Another day, another Dean's List Bonanza. Today, we're visiting Future Protocol. This is a really cool protocol with really cool people in the ranks, but also it's a really nice talking point because this is a protocol for token migrations, for rugged communities, abandoned communities, where they can update their metadata and transfer to new token standards, update their treasuries, update their DAOs, and it creates lots of talking points for us DAO enthusiasts and Solana power users. Of course, in the panel, we got plenty of Dean's List DAO superstars, Scientist Joe, Legend, Dean Machine, Annie, and Freegate. We've worked on countless protocols on the Solana space, and I'm very happy to have them here to check this protocol out. Now, I'm gonna pass the mic to Dean Machine. He's gonna fill us up a little bit on the history of the protocol because it has an interesting backstory. So, Dean, let us know a little bit about the legacy.
Hi. So Future started out as murdered token. There was a token that I think it was a pure meme. Just took Mert's face, and I believe Dirt, who's one of the founders of Future, along with some other people, had bought in on it, and I believe it started to look like it was going to be rugging. And that's where they came with this idea to have a token migration, a hostile takeover of the token. So when it was announced, there was a pre-sale of Future. And then soon after, anybody who had the token could choose to either go onto the market and just swap their the token into something else, or they could swap it into this new token, this Future token. And they were really successful. Like, I think on like day 3, they had like 50% of the token amount swapped over. And then when they launched, they had like 90%. So, getting that much of a token is really impressive. It goes to show you that there was a need, right? That these people really want to exit this, but they didn't want to exit into just liquidity. They wanted to exit into another token that they could get behind, that they could believe in, that had a vision, that had a direction. So yeah, I think what's really cool about the creation of Future is that they dogfooded it. Like they were the best users of it. I might be butchering the story a bit, but that's the general gist of it. I'm positive about the swap because I'm one of the people that swapped, and I still have my Future token. Yeah.
That's the best way to kickstart a service like that, a token migration service. Build it for your own community and just move forward with it. So this is a tougher concept compared to the ones we visited in the past. This is not that much of a DApp, or maybe it's a collection of tools that would facilitate a community migration, a token migration, and whatnot. Maybe we've seen this in the past with Sanctuary, but in the form of deragging NFT communities, with an NFT wrapper that would change the image, and people would go on a website and exchange. So we've seen it, but now this is for tokens, and the Solana and the toolset for Solana has already also matured a lot. So I think it's important to approach this in a different way, where as newbies or power users, as any of us, any hat you want to wear, we land in this page, and let's read it a little bit together, see what we understand, and maybe each one of us can tell us a little bit about the potential applications of this tool set, what they understand that this would be doing to a community, and maybe have some potential use cases or feature requests on the main page here. And slowly we're going to check the links provided here on the top right. The rest here on the left, we've checked it, and it's mostly documentation. So yeah, need a token migration. 7 reasons why you need one. Project rugged, so preserving a community and restoring value in projects affected by rug pulls. Metadata changes, allowing communities to relaunch with proper metadata, greatly increasing the safety of their token. Fundraising, rebranding, of course, very important. Hostile takeovers. Now, to me, that's very interesting. I would like to explore it more. Empowering communities to assert control over failed project teams. This can be hospitable as well. Not much explanation, at least for my standards. Token extensions, allowing projects to relaunch in Solana newest standard, very important. Mergers and acquisitions, multiple token inputs coming soon. And let's watch the commercials, since they have it here on their landing page.
These people are being rugged. Bad metadata. Their treasury is being drained. Pixelated crab NFTs are no longer the hip thing. The dev has disappeared. If this happens to you or your loved ones, relax. The Future DAO is here to save you with their newfangled token migrator tool.
I just called them.
I put the old token in.
And I got a new one and a fundraise out.
Now look at these people. They've been unrugged by Future DAO, and they've never been happier.
And it was so easy.
The Future DAO, for a better future.
All right, yeah, kind of what we described. I'm not gonna spoil anything else. I'm gonna pass the mic to Sir Scientist Joe, and he'll tell us a little bit what he understands and what are the applications of this toolset. Scientist.
Yeah, I think the main selling point here is the token migration tool. So there's a lot of information on this page, starting with the needed token migration, which is in caps. As you can see, that's the first thing I noticed while I visited here. But I think there's also some information on the left-hand side of the screen and on the nav bar, which is at the top right of, corner of this screen. And I kind of missed the token migrator link because it took me like a couple of tries of visiting the website before I was able to notice the token token migration link. And I think that in itself is the main product here, but it feels there is no distinction in font colors for both the elements on the nav bar and on the about and the need a migration. So it just feels like plain text. They could be better, represented on this page so that it quickly catches the user attention and you're able to, go through the tools and the product.
Yeah, I get your point. Maybe a big visualization of the migrator where it's clickable and takes you to the tool makes sense, since this is the main selling point. Mike to Legend, yeah. I want a zoomed out perspective of the toolset. What is this toolset?
Zoomed out impression. Yeah, so my first impressions of the main website is that there's no set explanation on what is full feature DAO, feature protocol, the name, right? You're getting faced with need a token migration part. So that I think the main point on the page, you're getting, these little boxes and it explains. Aside from that, it's just that's what I got from it. If you scroll down, you're going to see a coin address from the project. So you get the idea the project has a token, and you have no idea what's the token for. Just the token is there. So aside from that, the only first impression I got from the zoomed out, as you said, from the main page is that there's a tool, there's a project behind it, but there's no way to know what the project does from the beginning. You need to read step by step at least know about the tool, not the project itself. And that's it from me.
No, very good way of putting together these problems. The project and the toolset are not explained. Dean.
I like, I have a bit more understanding about the providence of this, provenance of it, how it came to be. So it's easier for me to understand, what's here. It's not for everyone. So if you think about like who's going to be using this, it's a very small amount of people. Like, even us who are very, we're power users. I can think of a few tokens that would qualify for this. So you've got a few problems. One, you have an awareness problem, right? Like usually if somebody's getting rugged on the token, I'm thinking that they're also like new to the ecosystem. So they're unlikely to know that this exists. And then, like, are there always these kind of like, now the rugs happen so fast. Like it's not like, Parrot, for example, is a good token for something like this, where Parrot existed for a very long time. A lot of people got rugged, big market cap. Like there was enough of a duration of time to build up a community where they could then get together and say, let's do this. Whereas, some of those tokens on, what was the thing we reviewed the other?
In Meme Royale.
Yeah.
Or
Was it
in
meme?
Bomb
No.
in
Ape.
Ape, Jupiter Ape.
Yeah. So like those Jupe Ape coins, those were being made and rugged within seconds in front of us. There would be no community that could cohesively get together fast enough to be worth looking at a token migration. So I think one of the biggest problems the product has, the website I think does well. It's just that you have such a niche group that, like, I wouldn't, from a business perspective, I don't know if I would prioritize making the website any better, because it's advertising what it does. It's just you have a very small group of people, so you probably need to spend more of your time and resources finding targets, and maybe there has to be some sort of we can talk about this more. An idea would be a bounty around finding targets. And if you, identify a good target, and maybe you have to put some liquidity behind your conviction that that's a good target, you get an outsized return on if it actually becomes the attack target.
Yeah, I get your point. The people interested in this tool are a very small group. Project founders, very informed, rugged traders. Okay, and I have more questions that I'm gonna raise in the end of the panel. Let's move to Annie. What do you think, Annie?
Well,
Is this website telling us?
I
What do
like
you
it.
think are the applications, and what should
I mean,
change
I don't
to make
understand
this
the
more
whole
digestible?
depth of it because I don't have the whole context that Dean had, but it kind of gives me the feeling that it's something that I'm gonna like by the way the UI is made. And I love the commercial. It really speaks to me. I don't know. It just feels like there is somebody, a team, who thought about all these RAG projects, and now there's something that's gonna happen about them. So we all, or many of us, have been in the situation where we invested in something, and then I don't know, the team failed, or the project failed, or whatever, and it got dragged. So it feels as if this is something where the project can refer to, but also the individuals can refer to. And for this, I'm waiting for the review to go to the second phase when we go through the different options. One thing I noticed is that when you go down the page, it kind of explains everything with all this zigzag thingy. And then at the end, before our commercial, it tries to explain what is a rug with the orange letters, you see? So it kind of feels as if it wants to attract people who do not know what a rug is. However, okay, I checked the link, it redirects the same page. So maybe this is something that they intended to do at some point. Then if you go and check the blog and the podcast, they really are investing in doing stuff. And they're investing, they have YouTube videos, and it feels as if the team is working on communicating more and more. So it kind of gives me the feeling that we're gonna see more and more of them. So the whole impression I have is really positive, and I'm willing to go further and deeper into the portal, which, as you said, it feels like as if it's a selection of different tools, and go to each and every tool and see how I can use them as an individual and how I can use them to refer them to friends of mine who worked on teams that got dragged or token that got rugged, and see. And also I like the idea about the bounty, because not everybody can remember on the top of their mind tokens that got rugged or communities that got rugged. So I really love the idea, and this I think will bring more and more people to this platform.
Thank you, thank you. I love how, guys, you have such a positive impression. I'm gonna come in the end and give you my side, which is not as positive. So thank you for being since it invites you to explore more. I totally agree. But let's see of what exactly is this. I still have questions. Frigate.
All right. My first impression about future protocol. Well, firstly, I barely knew anything about it. I knew about the token sometime back in 2021, but then I knew nothing about the tool, so I really haven't used it before now. So this is really my first impression. I don't know, when coming to the site, I'm just greeted by this captivating heading: need a token migration, 7 reasons why you should need one. Yeah, I like the way it is. It drives this inquisition. You want to know what it's about. But then I feel like these cubes here, these write-ups here are not enough to tell me why I need a token migration. I feel like when I click on this, for example, clicking on Rugged Project, it should expatiate more on that. It should tell me what it's about. So that way I'll feel like, okay, this is really what it's talking about. So right now, it still feels strange to me. I'm getting to understand it more from especially what Dean is saying. He seems to know quite a lot about them. So I get to understand it more from what he's saying. And if you go to any of the other websites here, the NFT portal, Token Migrator, Futaki, and every other thing here, there's no information about them. So it's captivating. It's captivating, but then it doesn't answer the questions I think that is being said at the top here. I need a token migration. 7 reasons why I should need one. So going through it, I don't see enough information, enough explanation about what they do. So I'll still be left with a lot of questions after going through here, and I wouldn't be able to, start using these products on visiting it. So yeah, didn't mention something like it's not really made for new users, but then I found my way to the website somehow. I should be at least able to get some value from it. So I feel like first thing first, they should extend these explanations here. This example project work, preserving community and restoring value in the project affected by rug pulls. I should be able to see more about what it does and how it does it. And yeah, like she said, this what is rug is not here. So I would love to see that. Another thing I would love to see is probably some examples of communities, of tokens, of rug tokens that they've brought back to life and I mean, that will give me more knowledge about what the protocol, what future protocol is all about. So that's what I would say about my first impression.
All right, thank you, Frigate. I'm as well feeling confused on what future protocol does. I have a context as well. I understand what a token migration is and why it's needed. On the other hand, I think that this website should have two main tabs, one talking about the future coin and the community and what they did with the tools and how they were successful and how the coin is used on all these things, and then another tab showcasing the tools with examples. I think that would be more powerful. Then the whole thing on the first page needs an FAQ. When I think of migration, when I'm thinking of hostile takeovers, when I'm thinking of thriving communities that are rug pull, like Dean mentioned Parrot as an example, or any other like Synthetify we talked about earlier, like projects that were for a very long time around. They had treasuries, they had DAOs, they had users, they had investors, they had communities, Discords, Twitters, all these things. Are these good candidates? What happens to the treasuries? What happens to the liquidity pools? What happens to their vesting contracts? What happens to like all these moving parts that were essential to the previous coin that Ragged was abandoned or whatever happened to it? Like I don't understand what happens in these dynamics. I understand how you take a bunch of people on one side, you take a snapshot, you see their coin, then you make a tool to exchange the coin for another coin. Like, I get the idea, but how do you transfer this value from the Ragged project to the Deragged project? I think if they could demonstrate this instead of putting 7 reasons why I need it, and as well prompt the user to propose communities that would use this tool or these services could be useful, I think that would be powerful. So me visiting is like, instead of you explaining all these things, just tell me, like, which community do you think we should derag, and allow me to propose 3 coins, 4 coins, 5 coins, and then I don't know, have some way of checking the user base, the liquidity, the market, all these things, and give me, is this a good target? Give me a rating. So I get some context of, is the community I'm thinking of as a Ragged community a good candidate? So something like that. I think that they can do a way better job on capturing my attention and also answering the questions on future token itself and the future protocol itself. Yeah, that's it from me. Shall we move to the token migrator before, and then we can start the panel on the other side around?
I just want to add I think the comment you just made around, what are some things we're looking for? That's good feedback again, where I think the best thing that they can do with the token is give it out to people who are finding the targets. And adding that detail of what does a good target look like helps do that. Maybe there isn't, like I have an idea again of what I think are good targets. I'm looking at recently they did the Solana Dino token, where if you read they've got this on their Twitter if you want to bring it up. It's like their second or third tweet. And in the tweet, yeah, you want to read through the tweet?
Okay, yeah. Everyone deserves a second chance for glory. Future presents Solana Dino. With the original team gracefully stepping back, there is an exciting opportunity for fresh leaders to step in and breathe new life to Dino, a thread. In April 2024, the Dino team gracefully sunsetted operations, yada yada, so airdrop to holders, burned the treasury, and immortalized Dino on chain. Okay. The founders, now with teams like MarginFi and Step Finance, made this classy decision due to bandwidth constraints. Okay. Taking over Dino is a unique chance to enhance your presence in the Solana community. Leading its revival boosts your social capital and positions you as a proactive leader. Unlocking further opportunities in Solana and beyond. Our token migrator is a great fundraising tool. Running Dino through it can attract new investments, revitalizing the project financially. This process can build a new treasury, funding development, marketing, and community engagement. With the former founders leaving for teams like Step Finance and MarginFi there's already an interest in Dino from influential figures. Leading Dino puts you in a prime position to attract major teams and forge valuable partnerships. Take over and rebrand Dino and help transform into a thriving project. Leverage the existing community tools and renewed funds. Whether you're seasoned or new to Solana, this is your chance to leave a mark. Join us in resurrecting Dino. So this is a shout out asking for leaders to step up and revitalize the project.
Yeah, and like I can see some of the reason why this one would be chosen. Like, so first of all, MarginFi team they mentioned, right? And who else? Which other team?
Where is it?
Step Finance.
Step Finance.
Right? So
yes.
Two teams that people know. So that means that like the people who were in this, they probably did like it probably wasn't a small community, right? It probably had to have some sort of size because those people are still around. They're not bad guys or anything. Like it's just like, hey, we're not interested in continuing this. So I could see that they're the kind of people that could also like rally up the people that used to. There's also an incentive for them to want to have better vibes on it. It's like, hey, we worked on this and we can't anymore. So we don't want to see it die. Like I see how that's a good target, right? You've got people who are still in the ecosystem that were founders. They want to have good vibes. They want people to like, not get hurt from the fact that they've got other things to work on instead.
This is like a transfer of leadership. This is not like this is with the cooperation of the developers that left.
Yeah.
This makes it very unique. And yes, that's a cool thing to get involved into, just because you are not going against a huge treasury that's locked in, or some
I
really
looked at the
bad
landing
vibes
page with a fresh
thing
eye
in the
before,
community.
but then I went into the
Most of the
document
times it's not
section,
like that.
which is on the left,
Anybody wants to jump in?
on
Yeah,
top of the
Annie.
blog, I think. On the document section. So there you find amazing information about all the things that we were discussing and wondering where they are. The documents, exactly. The documents leads you to a whole website that explains to you that what a RAG is. Now they have a new definition of a RAG. So they wanted to explain this, and that's why they had the link I mentioned before. But they also have what was proposed by Dean. They have a bounty. So when a project gets RAG, they will put up a bounty in future tokens, and they explain all this in the documents. Amazing. I don't know. I was. It is too much text for the landing page. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the documents page. That's not like, okay. This this is too much text. Yeah, I will never get like if I'm like I really need to be using this to read all this text. Like obviously you'll read everything in the documentation. That's where things are. But that's I don't think that's amazing, to be honest. I think that's a poor way of summarizing what you're doing on the main website. I expected the documents to be rich in information, but at least I expected to have
Exactly.
the link work.
So I
You
think
know,
it's
when you click
amazing because they
here,
already
it should
have the
take you to
information.
this
So that's
place
why I
here.
was
And
really
any
happy.
questions I had,
The thing is, so that means that
they
this is
should
a
be
very good point for
taking me to the
improvement because the
documentation
only
at
thing
least.
they need to do
I think
is
it's
connect the
hidden
landing page
behind
with
a lot of
which
text.
their intention is that they keep it lean and sharp looking and without too much text. So they connect it with all the explanation that they already have. So they could do a better work in explaining this with all the information that they already have, like what is a rug, that they do a boundary, how a project gets qualified. So they could do this in a more user-friendly way because they already have it written down. So it's a matter of presenting it to their audience in a better way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right that the information is there. It just needs to be better connected through some kind of FAQ examples or less text at least from the documentation. Before we go visit the tools, any other inputs on the landing page, on the message, on the story behind it? Let's go to the token migrator. Okay, immediately you notice that this is a very, very different layout. The future token, even the logo is different, the white background. I see there is a tokens migrations. Welcome back. Token migrations to contribute via swap or pre-sale. Let me see. Oh, whoa, I'm in the wrong tab. Sorry. Here we go. Here we are. White background, different logo, a little bit different. So let me connect my wallet. And I see a button token migrations, and I see I have some kind of token that I can claim. So I click in, status 28 days ago. So this ended. I don't think I'll be able to swap. Let's try, since the button is not grayed out. So yeah. So I can swap. So yeah, theoretically this is working. I think that this is the page where you land and it checks your address, and if you are eligible for a token migration that is happening, you can participate. Let's start from FreeGate and go backwards so everybody can speak. Any comments on this landing page? Let's be quick so we check the other tools and footer key.
All right.
FreeGate.
Yeah, with the token migration, I think there are some issues with it. Just the way you see this token meant to be claimed, I also see the same thing. And in any wallet I connect, I see the same thing. So I don't know. I don't think this is real. Even a new wallet with which I don't think I've had any token in it before now, I see the same token migrator. Uh, sorry, I see the same token to be migrated there. So I don't think this is real. But then I can click on it. I can initiate a transaction which I pay a fee for, and in the end, I get nothing. So I think this is actually a bug. So it should be grayed out for those who do not have this token. That's what I think, because I obviously did not participate in this pre-sale or do anything about it. So I think there is an error here. And the first thing I'm supposed to say is this. Opening the page, what I see is welcome. Sorry, before connecting your wallet, you're just greeted with this welcome page, and there's nothing here. Please connect your wallet to get started. You would have to disconnect your wallet first to see that. I just see this welcome page and I'm asked to connect my wallet. I feel like there should be a little more explanation before this. So, well, that's not a big deal. But then at the top right, there's this token migrations button. Clicking on it does nothing. When you click on any other place on the website, it gets deselected. But clicking on it does nothing for me. How do you get to that page? Okay, how do you get to this page, please?
How do you get to this page? You go to Token Migrator.
Okay, when you click on claim tokens.
I click on the work for your bags.
Okay. Yeah, so the page is so plain. There's no information about it or what it does. And this work for your bags, I think it's a mistake, because this wallet here, if I saw it in just one of my wallets, I would assume I probably participated in the pre-sale or had a token at some point and then it needs migration. But right now, there's none of this. The wallet I'm currently connected to has never had any token like this, has never participated in any pre-sale. So yet I'm able to claim tokens, and you see I can actually sign the transaction, so I feel that's the mistake, and it just wastes my gas fee, even though it's minute, but at least it's something. So
okay, 3 things on my side.
That's the issue I have with this token migrator.
For sure.
I don't mind that there is a different color.
It's a mistake. It's an error. It's something
works
that
upon the idea that this is a selection of tools. So I'm great with having a white background, as long as the logo is still the same, and I see the logo of Future is there and it's the same with a variation. So I'm fine with it. I see that a selection of different tools. It would be great if before we entered and connected the wallet, I could see like a screen of all the projects that have been dragged, and I could swap into or migrate into the new token. So it could be great to do that before, and it would be great because it would also give me an idea of how many projects they have been working on. But it's okay, it can automatically connect with my wallet and tell me if I have any tokens that are eligible for this procedure. Then when I go in there and I go and claim the token by clicking on the orange button, there are many things I don't understand. What is the fee? 10M. What does it mean? 10M, like 10 million. Is it gonna cost me 10 million? I don't know, probably not. And then I guess for everybody, it's the work-to-work token, which it's not very explanatory for me. So what is the work-to-work? Those were my 4 points.
No, valid points. I have the same questions. It looks like that this is a percentage symbol here, so most probably this should have been in percentages. Again, that's an error. Most probably the whole thing. Maybe we shouldn't be even seeing it. Maybe Dean has more context. Do you have any idea, or what are your thoughts, Dean, on the migrator?
No, I would be redundant at this point. And for the purpose of time, like everyone's covered everything.
Legend.
So regarding the token migration, I have quite some feedback actually. So in the main page of the token migration, so there's a status indicator which says claim tokens. The thing is, like, the claim tokens indicator already doesn't make sense because the start date starts June 25 and the end date for the claiming of tokens is June 30, right? So it doesn't make sense to have a outdated indicator. So my suggestion here is adding maybe a indicator saying ended or finished to convey the message for new users and users who have the token that the claim already finished. You can't swap or claim anymore. And when you click on the token, if you go inside the token on the main page, there's quite some statistics you can say, right? And one of the statistics is the fundraise and the treasury. So the treasury says 27 million and fundraise says 0 SOL. So let's say it has 2 SOL. So what I want to know is some transparency. So I want to know where the treasury is. Like I need some addresses so I can check on chain. I can change on Solscan, Solana FM. So more transparency on the statistics will be welcome, so people can verify themselves if the statistics are correct, for example. And there's one thing I want to mention as well is if you go back, there's the symbol, and that there's FTMC, which is fully diluted market cap. If you see that it says FTMC low, what does it mean like low? Like, is it 17 market cap? It's like 1 million market cap. What do they mean by low? So that's not very indicative. What like I can say like low is for me it's like 500K, or low is for you is maybe 5K. It's very relative. And yeah, that's basically most of my feedback. I have some more, but we can go on.
Thank you, Legend. Scientist.
Yeah, like I said earlier, there's a lot of missing details, and this page is supposed to be a continuation of the previous one, which is the landing page. But like Annie said, the branding here does not show that. It does feel like two different, web pages and all. But I think if you also notice, there's no way to navigate through the token migration. If you click the claim token button and you get to this page you have on the screen here, there's no way to go back. And when you click the future logo on the top left, you are redirected back to the landing page. And it's you have to start the whole process. So there's no in between. You cannot go back. You can only switch between the landing page and any page the token migrator. And also, there's a lot of real estate not being used. I think this claim token button here doesn't even feel like a button, because from first glance you just feel like it's normal text, and there's not a hover added to show that when you hover around it, it's changed maybe color to show okay it's a clickable item. Also, I think for this page, this is like the main product the team is offering, and there's no sign of that feel that this is the main product, because on the landing page you also have some other items on the nav bar, but you notice this token migration is the main selling point, and yet it does not feel like it when you click onto the next page. I mean, the word token migration needs to be properly defined. I understand that this will be used mostly by people who are mostly developers and understand the back end of things, and maybe those are the consumer groups that would be looked at. But I think you do yourself a good advantage of, since the people who are using this they are so few, you'd help other people on board easily if you have more details. And if you even go to the docs and the first thing you are seeing is token migration, yet there is no definition of token migration. Because again, migration can mean many things. It could also mean, it could also mean bridging from maybe a different chain to Solana. It could mean, but in this context where you are creating a new token to an old token, and there is no, proper definition of what this token migration is, and it's not visible anywhere on the app. I think it's something that could also be added just to make the experience simple and easier with the process. The last thing I'll say is, could you also add some stats on the token migration page? Let's say number of claims, number of tokens migrated, or some sort of volume, just to show some activity going on here. Because right now it feels isolated in the sense that people who come here for the first time might not even know if there is a single person interacting with the DApp. Yeah, that will be all.
Thanks, scientist. I'll be very quick. I need more information on the old and new community, links to their Discords, Twitter accounts. Allow me to see what is going on with the old one, and allow me to see also the revived new community. As Legend said, more links to token addresses, treasuries, all the information on the tokenomics of the new and the old. And I also would like to see if what I'm looking at this page is all the token migrations, the ones that I am eligible, the ones that are running now. What am I looking like? Is this a list of all tokens and we're just too early, or this is just the one I'm eligible? I just don't understand. Just tell me. Maybe put a bar saying like all with a button on the top right. So just for me to understand if I should visit again to connect a different wallet. Should they try a different wallet? Like I don't know. So let's move on. Yeah, let's see the other tools. And as people said, there's no easy way to go back. Yeah, go.
Yeah,
And
I would just add on that, like in this ecosystem of the token migration, it'd be cool to have a bit of a forum. Like I think that so much of this is narrative driven that once you're getting into this like swapping, maybe people can be like raising their hand saying they would want to be part of leadership. Maybe they can write what they would want to bring to it or why they're excited about it. Like if this really becomes like a marketplace for migrations, you could even have people that don't even hold the token going and buying the token because they believe in what other people are pitching. So that's the only thing I would add.
or even have like leaders for hire, where like I will lead your project for X amount of money. Like I'll do it. Like you have enough. Are you gonna fundraise enough to hire me? I don't know. Maybe it can be fun. And as you said, because it's narrative driven, and there is a lot of dialogue and lots of like for sure a polarized debate between people that want to migrate and people that don't. Let's go to the NFT portal, and it's interesting because we haven't read anything about the NFT portal in this page. This has only been about migrations. So I have no clue what is the NFT portal. Maybe it's the NFT of future DAO, future protocol. Or is it about NFT communities? I have no clue. Let's click on it. Lots of information, stake swap, future token. Let me connect my wallet. Future token, and I will receive future champions. And this is 10,000 NFTs, 100,000 future tokens equals one NFT. 1 billion tokens. Hybrid DeFi, also known as SPL 404. You swap 100,000 future for one NFT. You stake NFTs to be rewarded. You swap NFTs back to tokens, which incurs a 1% fee, so you're penalized. and people that are staking, I assume, get those fees. And future is the governance token. Footer key, you use this token for footer key. So this is a way to get tokens using their NFT to participate in decision making, which happens through footer key. What do you think, guys? What is this tool? Is this a tool for derugging communities, or this is a tool to participate in future governance? What do you think is happening here? Legend, how do we improve the message?
So that's a good question. Like, there's no information on what the NFT is for. I had another type of feedback for the NFT portal, which is they have these two sections. They have the swap when you do the swap, right, and then the stake, which is another section of the page. So I think it's pretty useful, like dividing these two pages. Like we should merge in one. It's just save space and let the users stay in one page instead of like jumping from around. And one of the other feedback I'll give, like they use the swap for future to get NFT, right? I mean, they should also give the user the flexibility of selecting any token, and then it routes to future and gets the NFT as well. So, but I think at the end of the day, what they want to do with the NFT, from what I've understood, is like you get a little commission from the projects that migrate. That's what I think I understood just from the initial explanation they give.
All right. Okay. I like it. I like that you understood that. Revenue sharing is big. Let's move to scientist. Sorry for skipping you. I should have started with scientist.
Yeah, NFTs, as you know, from the name would imply, non-fungible, and it's equivalent in the supply, and there's a lot of questions I have on why this is being done this way, even if it's a reward system or a reward model, especially considering what happens to the supply when one NFT is born. I think that's one question I'm asking, because if you are swapping a token, does it automatically, when you burn one NFT, does it automatically burn the token because you are swapping it on the platform for one for 10,000 or 100,000 future tokens? So does it mean when I burn my NFT, I am burning 100,000 tokens as well? And I think NFTs are meant to be fun. I know it's a reward system, maybe some artwork to show what is happening here, and it's a community, so I think people might be interacting with each other or identifying each other through these NFTs, just as a means of social discourse and all. So, but I fail to fully understand this
Not gonna say much.
process of using
I
the
just
NFTs
need a
for
lot of
rewards, and
information
not
in this page,
there is not even a secondary
but I see the symbol,
marketplace where
and I mean, if you're gonna
these
put
items
this
can be
picture there, and
at least not on this
amazing,
page.
great picture, but cool,
So
but it's so
there's no
small.
way for me
This
to
is proportionally small with the
I can
ones on
interact
top of the swap.
directly. It's
If you
just
guys are gonna put
unless
it
I
there,
have
the
the
symbol,
tokens,
maybe
that's the only way to get the
make it for
NFTs.
user friendly,
And
make
there's
the
no
letters
secondary means of
bigger, or
getting them as
rearrange the
well.
page because it produces like a
Yeah, no links
clutter that
especially for
I
secondary.
don't know what happened. Like
Dean
put that
Machine.
smaller below the yellow circle.
So I
So
mean,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
not
having the
everything should be
documentation,
on the
I
same page.
understand what is what. But if I see this
As far
page,
as like
it doesn't speak to me.
understanding what the NFT does, I think it's pretty understood from the text. Just we're power users, so it wouldn't be super obvious. I think that it's very bare bones. And if you want to be inviting people, put a background at least. if you compare this site to the landing page, you see it feels very disjointed. Like how much effort went into the landing page to, where there's no interactions. Where here, you're asking me to connect my wallet, ledger integration. It's not a lot of effort. Put something in the background instead of the white. And then, if you can have the swap and the stake on the same page, I think that's great.
Thank you. Thank you for the input. I totally agree. I totally agree on all the parts you covered. Very small letters. It's hard for people to read. Let's move on to Annie. Yeah, totally agree with your points as well. I like how we all agree that everything should be on one page and a little bit more care should be applied for this one to make you feel safe. Freegate, what do you think? Please be quick. We are running out of time.
All right, I'll be quick. Yeah, same thing everyone has said. The page feels so I don't know. It feels somehow there's so much space yet everything are clustered together. It feels unreal. And one thing now, it sort of confuses me. We have 10,000 NFTs by 100,000 future equals to one NFT 1 billion token. I really don't know what that's about, and there's nothing to read about it. And also, you see that there's 10,000 tokens here, but we don't know how many are in circulation, how many have been claimed already. On the stake page, you see that there are 2,283 NFTs staked, and then there are 2,242. So I don't know if this is the total supply of the NFTs that have been minted already, or there's more to it. It's really confusing. I feel like there should be a little more information, a little more links to click and all that. And also, I should be able to swap Solana to future here and then swap to the future champions NFT. And yeah, that's all I would say about this.
Yeah, thank you. Totally agree. I think there should be a swap feature on the website. Stake and swap should be on the same place, and also links on the on various block explorers to see those NFTs. See how they. I have no idea what do the future champions look like. Like when you're selling an NFT. Yes, the images maybe. Yeah, for most people, is the most important information. So give me an idea of the NFT I am buying and I'm staking. Make me be part of this process. I think it's important. Even having like this wheel here be on the background rotating depending on which move I am doing now. Am I exchanging tokens for NFTs? Put the wheel on that side. Let me see that. Am I staking my NFT for a part in the rewards from token migrations? Show me that I'm on that part of the journey. I think there is very easy ways to connect those two processes, and this is again the basis that should be the basis of the community side of the what is the token doing, what is the NFT, how these things bake into the rewards and the token migrations. So put all this together instead of having Token Migrator, the tool, and NFT portal, which is governance and participation through the future protocol community. They should be at different places. Don't confuse me. I thought this was a tool in the beginning, NFT portal. So before, because we're already past, no, we're closing to the 1 hour mark. We just crossed the 1 hour mark. Let's talk a little. Let's quickly talk about footer key. Where I'm gonna go, I'm gonna click on the footer key. This redirects us to the MetaDAO page here, and I see. Let's see the past proposals. Future DAO has, and this is what the token is used to. It is used for. It's used for decision making by trading in the futarchic markets, trading proposals. And let's see their first proposal, their second, and the third proposal. So the first one is called Fund Future DAO's Token Migrator. It's a $12,000 budget, great proposal to be traded in the futarchic markets. Any thoughts on that, my friends? I see this passed and Token Migrator was built.
It's the beginning of future, right? Like, hey, this is what we've got money for. This is what we were thinking of building. Let's go.
Yeah, and it passed.
Yeah.
With a $4,500 volume.
A lot. Considering, the futarchy range, it's pretty good. The crash.
So the Fund the Rug Bounty program was their second proposal. Again, this is important in the context of we are reviewing future protocol, and this is the use case for the token. One of the big use cases, the participation in governance. So it's important for us to go through these proposals. Fund the Bug Bounty program. What Annie said was already mentioned in the documentation, and what Dean proposed as an important tool should be displayed in the front page. But yeah, fund the future DAO's Rug Bounty program. Rug Bounty XYZ. Is this like a separate website? No. They're asking for $5,000. And they have a presentation on what exactly this does and how there is clear financial projections with examples. And again, this is a close call with very little volume. We see $500, very little volume. It's not very little compared to the first proposal, but still decent volume to get into the decision. So yeah, this was also funded, the Rug Bounty program. And let's check the last, which is the one we explored just now, which is the budget for Champions NFT collection design. This finished on the 18th of July, so this is 5 days ago. And yeah, this contributes to the whole identity of the protocol. And there are some NFTs. There is a budget, total budget of $10,000.
Probably what you mentioned before. You have no image, and this is what the proposal is for. To fund the image you were asking before.
What an interesting
For
journey.
the NFTs from the swaps.
They called an NFT without an image. And this proposal was also voted, and it passed. Again, I see they're always very close. I'm interested to see how the markets behave. This
Thanks,
is
I had some connection issues. Okay.
I wouldn't imagine that this
I like the
proposal
connection
wouldn't
of Footer
pass.
here, and I like
So not a
how
lot of
they
trading
redirect me to a
occurred.
new site. However, this is not the future anymore. New site, it's okay.
So yeah, we see
Actually,
a
I'm glad
clear
to the fact that there are
upside. Like
different
I wish I
tools
knew
that
how many
are
people
under
were
the
trading.
future
Nobody
brand name.
tried to
So
oppose
my
this
request
proposal.
would be,
Very
you
little
guys,
here.
you want to have a selection of different tools under one brand? Great.
Interesting
But
dynamics.
make it
3
more cohesive.
proposals
I want to
passed.
see the glue.
Where if you
How
go
am I
to
led from one
Dean's
to
list
the
DAO,
other? I want to have the user journey.
we
So I
also
want to
have
have the
3
glue between the different
proposals,
tools
but
and platforms
one
that we're
failed
gonna use.
and 2 passed. And you'll see that on all 3 there are people taking both sides. Very interesting. Footerkey is very interesting, and future DAO engaging with Footerkey and using their token for trading the Futarkic markets. I think it's another good reason for projects to use their tools. I think that they should connect Footerkey with revamping a community, breathing new fresh air, and changing the leadership. I think steering them towards the Footerkey model of DAOs, or at least giving them a cookbook for DAOs would be very beneficial. But enough with my rambling. Sorry for going first. Let's start again from the end. Let's have some closing thoughts. Thoughts on Footerkey. Thoughts on future protocol, and if you had to propose one feature request, I want one feature request to dapify the experience. So, Frigate, you start. Few words on Footerkey and everything, and one
I
feature.
think I wouldn't make a
feature
comment
request.
on
Let's go.
Footerkey because I don't know a lot about it yet. I've only participated once, so I'll stay out of that for now. And for the feature request, I would like for future protocol is their main tool needs to be proper. It needs to, there are a couple of things which we've mentioned here about this token migration. I feel if they make the page like their primary products, it would be a very good thing. And then they make the token migrator page a very beautiful page. That would be a very good thing. And also there should be more information available on this homepage. Clicking on these boxes should take you to where it's supposed to be. If it's a tool, it should take you there. If it's a text to read or a video, just something that explains more about it. It's a beautiful tool, and we get to see more people using it, and probably a little description of what kind of tokens can be derogged or what kind of tokens are not going to be considered for derogging. That would be all for me.
Thank you, Frigate. I like the feature request. Let's move to Annie. You're muted. You're still muted for me? No. Thank you. Very, very precise. Like you're asking for something which they can quickly put together and implement. The glue is important. So yes, totally agree. Let's move to Dean Machine.
I think they're the best, like a great example of a DAO that should be using Feudarchy. There's a way to quantify a lot of these decisions, and especially if they're putting their capital into some of these token migrations. If there was one thing I would focus on, it's giving an incentive where I can, put my money where my mouth is and tell you, hey, this is a good token to go and take over and to rally around. Give people a reason to help identify and then put in that work there. Like I think it's a great, like it fits into a Dean's List model, honestly, right? Where it's like, hey, I'll do the work for you. I also can see the upside for myself because I'm the first one putting some liquid. Like there's a model there where it really fits well with self-starters. So yeah, that's what I like to see.
Thank you. Yes, clear feature request. Let me know how I can engage with your platform. Show me like which tokens, what can I do now? I like it. Let's move to Legend. Closing thoughts and one feature request.
So yeah, comment on the Feudarchy proposals they have made. I think are very good proposals since they involve, transfer of funds. They involve the treasury, so the people, need to put their capital at risk to vote on receiving these funds to, develop these features and tools for the protocol for the DAO. And one feature request I'll, share will be on the token migrator. So there's only one project there right now. So one feature I would like to see later on maybe is some type of filtering, normal filters like active swaps, active things. Because at the moment they introduce more tokens, it's going to be very hard to keep track of them. So one way to keep track of active and finished swaps and migration will be some type of filtering. So simple filtering is gonna be a good feature for it. And that's it.
Thank you. Yes, easy implementation, and would also answer my question that is that all the projects or the ones that I am eligible? Some filtering, or at least the indication of filtering. Scientist, closing thoughts and one feature request.
Yeah, my closing thoughts here, especially for the NFT portal while we're going through it, and then we open Feudarchy and you can see we have more information on what they plan to do with the NFTs and how they are funding a budget for it. And I think, yeah, it's a good step for them because we are also using Feudarchy and everyone could show their sentiments through trading the token, which indirectly creates value for them as well. My future request would be for the token migration platform. I'd like to see a chat feature implemented where people come and, share, thoughts about what they want to do. And it also helps, communities, make these decisions together collectively. Yeah, that will be all.
Thank you. Yes, for sure, something that will allow the communities to engage directly on the site, bring the volume on the DApp. I totally agree. On my side, I like the team. I like the future team. We saw them also on Island DAO. Huge shout out. The Dirt is really good at his interviews. He's a really interesting person. He knows about all these communities and how these migrations work and have worked and what they can potentially do. And I'm convinced this is a space to explore. For one feature request, I would want to see allow me to input a token and tell me if this is a good target or not. That's just check a couple of things. Maybe we can help as a community. Maybe we can get you some ideas of what to filter for a good potential dirag or not. Or also steer them towards creating on-chain governance. Allow these new communities to participate on-chain governance, educate the community members, show them real and safe treasury management so these kind of rugs don't happen in the future. Because if everybody operated in a DAO structure with real quorum and decentralized token holding, we wouldn't have this kind of ranks. So it's important to educate people. So yeah, that's it. I think that was not an easy concept for us to digest. I think it was a great also learning exercise for many of us. So thank you to the Future Protocol. Thank you to all the feedback reviewers. Join us in Dean's List for if you want to participate in this kind of roundtables. It's a lot of fun. The behind the scenes is even more fun. And if you're not part of this tight group, you are missing out. So that's it from me. I love you all. I want to see you again very soon. Anybody else? Closing remarks before I press the button for us to go offline?
Yeah, I want to thank Future as well. Like, it's great that they're trying new things and working with us on trying new things and reviewing new things. And it takes a lot of balls to want to get a Bonanza and get a feedback. And traditionally, I've felt more bullish around founders and projects that take that extra step and invite feedback. If you go and read some of a lot of what some of the greatest founders have ever said, it's that they lean into getting that critical. You want your friends to tell you what's wrong, not what's right. So really, hats off to Dirt and team, and look forward to doing more of these with them, with their community, and of course with other projects.
Love you all. See you in the next Bonanza. In 2 days, Gib.work. And that's going to be very interesting. A very good panel is assembling for this. See you in 2 days. I love you. See you tomorrow with Whale Tales. But yeah, that's another story. Lots of love. Bye-bye.